Welcome back, everybody, to the ESL Hearthstone Legendary Series, brought to you by Newegg.com. We want to give you also a quick shout out to Western Digital and Crucial for all your storage and memory needs. Make sure to go check that out, and you can do it on Newegg.com. They're supporting the event, so make sure to support people who make this possible. In the meantime, I think it's time for our second semifinals between Reynard and Pinpingho. This is a really important match because if you win this one, you get an invite to next week where you'll face off against 4 new invites and 2 other people who qualify through the Challenger Cup.
Nice. And, of course, the all-important ESL points.
The all-ever-important ESL points, which qualify you for the offline $20,000 finals here in Burbank. Now, some people will be traveling from all over the world. We know players in Asia love the opportunity to come to California. And also, Hype can just hop onto his car and get here in about half an hour. That's also a pretty cool opportunity as well. What do you think of the studio, man? You like the fire?
It's super cool. So it was all like hidden behind this weird area. But then when I walked in, like I see the huge stage, 200 maxnomic chairs. I think they're going to give me one maybe if I'm lucky.
If you cast well enough, Hype, so you better step it up.
Okay, so we're seeing Reynard Hunter into Shaman. I think that's what he wanted. He definitely didn't want his handlock to go into Shaman.
Probably not. But I don't think Reynard had an opportunity to see Pinpingho's decks, or even vice versa.
I was about to say Reynard was looking great until we saw this Zombie Chow. Now Pinpingho has the Feral Spirits, the Defender, the Rockbiter, Doomhammer, all great cards against Hunter.
Yeah, you might make a case where he has to Hunter's Mark the Zombie Chow, so that way he has any semblance of the board.
Still sneaking in the extra damage, though. I like it.
Yeah.
It's just so easy for a Hunter to get like just one step ahead against the Shaman, and the Shaman can't do anything, but the Zombie Chow's going to let Pinpingho stay in the game.
Yeah, just being able to take out one creature, or even just take 2 cards.
And now the Shaman is just going to be one step ahead all game. Although the bow into the Feral Spirits is nice.
Yeah, especially since he might get a trap off of the extra charge.
I don't think we saw any of Reynard's traps the other game, did we?
I want to say yes, but because I think his Mad Scientist never died.
Yeah. He's thinking if he can risk it getting Earthshocked, maybe he throws it in. He doesn't need the trap right now because he's going to kill the Feral Spirit with the bow, and he has another bow anyways.
Well, at least he saves himself a little bit of health, I guess.
Yeah. Yeah, that's right. Forcing the attack, okay.
Well, Pinpingho unfortunately coined out, so he doesn't have any more mana to spend this turn other than Rockbiter, so he's going to hold on to it.
Web Spinner is one of the best cards against Shaman. You really want something high value, and you just want creatures against Shaman, so Web Spinner is great. And you saw that there's no Earthshock, I think. There's a maybe. Uh-oh. Okay.
No, I don't think he's that upset with the start so far. You know, having cards like Doomhammer and Lothep can be really important too if it ever turns into a flat-out race. If you know this is Snake Trap, for example, and you're like, okay, well, I just have to basically get into damage as soon as I can, those cards could be really valuable.
Yeah, he's probably thinking it's freezing, and he's going to throw the Argus to proc the freezing. Okay, nice.
I mean, we don't know what it is ourselves.
Let's see, does Reynard care about the charge?
Does he? He has another Eagle Horn bow.
Yeah, but if he couldn't equip it, so he's going to lose a charge. Or he wants the charge, okay. Which is great. I mean, the Shaman, they can't heal. You just keep hero powering bow down. He can't do anything. Although he does have the cards to race, like you mentioned.
Well, let's see what Ping does in this scenario. He has quite a few options at his disposal here. It really does depend on what trap it is. We don't even know what it is, right? You didn't get any confirmation.
But Ping's probably assuming freeze. If he knew it was freezing, he'd throw the Argus in right away. But now he's considering Snake. He's like, okay, Snake, can I deal Snake? But if he throws the Argus in, then the Misha's at 4-2, but it doesn't matter. He still has to throw the other thing in. So he might consider like Rockbitering first. Probably not though.
If it is Snake Trap though, he has Lightning Storm. If it's Freezing Trap,
okay, he can handle the Snake Trap. You're right.
Yeah, if it's Freezing Trap,
then he'll probably Rockbite at the.
Oh,
interesting.
I was not expecting that one, especially coming up on a potential high main turn.
Okay, so he just wants to get his board is going to be like his wall with the taunts, and then he's just going to smack away with the Doomhammer. Maybe that's his plan.
But this now gives opportunity to Reynard to set up bow number 2.
Yeah. Again, though, you want creatures. He needs something high value off that web spinner. Knowing Reynard, he's probably going to get the Captain Ferret.
No, he's going to get Core Hound.
Nice.
He's made fun of it so many times that it's going to come back to haunt him.
You know what great card against Shaman for web spinner is like the Rhino. I love getting the Rhino against
Tundra
Shaman.
Rhino.
Yeah. Just throw down the Rhino, smack him with like a charged Misha or something too. Same turn.
Yeah, and then you can get web spinner trolltastic moments where you have Tundra Rhino, web spinner into
Keep
web spinner into
infinite
web spinner.
spinners. There's the freezing, but now Ping's kind of behind. He had like a potential to snowball with like the Loatheb into the Doomhammer. He's still gonna do it, but it feels like he could have done this last turn.
I like to shut down the web spinner too.
So Reynard has 3
really?
charges, but that Argus is gonna come down, so only 1 is gonna go to the face. It looks like.
I generally like using Earthshock to shut down any kind of card game that the hunter can
Yeah,
get.
I would definitely do it. Although, because maybe he wants.
So you want to use the get
It's pretty
past
strong
spawns.
in combination with the Lightning Storm to do like a Earthshock Lightning Storm. You just clear everything.
He could be thinking that he doesn't have any way to deal with the high main effectively.
Yeah,
So Earthshock might be his only bet to get rid of a high main.
yeah, but Earthshock like fully kills. Oh, which one? No. Reynard should put But actually, he saw that he floated 1 mana. He's like, he definitely doesn't have Earthshock because he would have Earthshocked that. That's what he's thinking.
Well, I mean, he's got 7 damage lined up guarantee with Kill Command, Ironbeak Owl, and his hero power. So Reynard is effectively 4 points from killing his opponent.
Okay. I'm sure the Owl will help too.
Yeah. Well, here's where the Earthshock is doing big things, but he's already took a few extra points of damage.
Yeah. Reynard saw he saw that when I see a Shaman float 5 or 1 mana, I'm like, he definitely doesn't have Earthshock.
But here's the thing. There's also a lot of damage coming the other way, and he also has lethal next turn if Hunter can't kill him.
So it's 10 from Doomhammer plus the Flame Tongue on whatever lives. And
Unless
Reynard might
draws
just
damage.
Owl and leave something on the board. I think you would. Think he's gonna kill command the creature?
Well, he's,
Does he have lethal?
has to.
Are we?
Oh yeah, he does because
Yeah,
the
we knew
kill
that.
command.
We knew that.
Well played. And that's gonna do it for game number 1. Don't worry, Hype. I missed lethal. You were too busy explaining too many smart things.
Looking into Ping's eyes, he's staring right at me. Okay.
Well, good thing he didn't miss that because that would have been really sad. But now, Reynard starts off to a 1-0 lead. And if he can win this game, I mean, all of a sudden he'll be invited back. And the best part of all is that Reynard, if he wins, he gets to face Chalky in the finals.
Nice. Okay, so they both have Handlock, and then Reynard has
His warrior?
Warrior, and then Ping has Druid.
Druid.
Okay, so that's really important for Reynard to dodge. He doesn't want the Warrior to die for free to Druid, although he was the one that beat Druid earlier. Or no, he lost to Supernova, but we thought he was going to lose the whole time.
So it was the wild growth starts. That was
Yeah.
crazy.
So Druid's beat Warrior every time today.
Okay. So if he can line up his handlock against Druid and then Warrior versus handlock,
He has the double brawl.
he does have the double brawl.
He doesn't have the big game hunter, so it's not like it's super good, but it could catch Ping off guard.
Sure. Okay. Well, we'll see how it lines up here. And I guess we're about to find out whether or not it's going to be a mirror matchup or whether or not it's going to be Druid versus handlock.
Okay, so this is good for Reynard. He's still. We both agree that the Warrior is still a little bit weak to handlock, so that's going to be hard. But it's definitely better against handlock than it is against Druid. So he's really happy with this.
But Druid is, as much as it might stink against what handlock can do sometimes, it can also sneak out wins.
Yeah, I'd like Druid versus handlock, especially if he has a big game hunter and the Echoing Ooze. This could be the old style deck with the Echoing Ooze and the Creeper, because Wild Growth isn't that great against handlock, so you might as well just get the Echoing and the Creeper. Although Echoing plus Creeper, that is the best Druid deck versus Hunter. That beats Hunter 80% if you have both those cards.
Wow.
Unless the Warriors run Unstable, but no one runs that anymore, so the Echoing just gets in for so much.
I was looking at the curve for Druid. It looks pretty nice. Turn 2 through 5, you got everything sorted out.
Yeah. Reynard's got Twilight, Mountain, Shadowflame now, so he can come back from anything.
All right.
So, wow, that is really early.
That's really aggressive. You know, you had the opportunity of playing Echoing Ooze and then next turn just innervate and then coin out 5-drop and then 5-drop itself. But he's opting to be way more aggressive than that.
At the same time, it gets a little scary when you start Spectral Knighting into a Handlock who does have the Molten Giant. Because you need the combo to finish them.
He has Molten Giant and he has Shadow Flame.
So, yeah, Pinping had like a big game or a keeper to maybe get past the first Giant. He'd be comfortable. Okay, there's the Roar. Now, Reynard might not have time to clean up everything up before the Roar gets off.
Well, he does next turn if he Shadow Flames.
Yeah.
And
Is he
it
going
looks
to,
like
though? I think so, yeah.
You have Savage Roar, you go for it.
So then Pinping's going to Loatheb, and then Reynard's response to Loatheb is probably Molten Giant. Maybe Twilight as well. We'll see. I wonder if that Alex will end up saving him.
You might, but gosh, it's still hard to tell.
Reynard could go for the Hellfire Mortal Coil.
That's also great. It saves his Giant.
Yeah, then he draws a Soulfire off the Mortal Coil. Soulfire's face drops the Molten Giant. That's what's happening.
I like it. You have a similar humor to Savitz, where you guys have like unexpected. Oh no! Molten Giant means certain death with Savage Roar.
8/8s are really hard for a Jew to deal with. Shadow Flame is super valuable, so I see maybe the logic in saving it.
Oh man. I think Reynard's just dead.
8, 9, 10, 11, 12? No, he's not dead yet. Pinping's 2
close.
damage off.
It was close.
But Loatheb might shut him out.
Oh, you know, I was calculating Hellfire damage if you went Hellfire.
Okay.
Yeah.
So Reynard needs a taunt if Loatheb comes down.
That's close, man. But this matchup ends up going to the edge almost every single time as well.
Yeah. And I do like the aggressive drops from Handlock. I hate when Handlocks play super defensive, although it did feel right when we see the hand. We're afraid of that Savage Roar, but maybe it'll pay off for Reynard. Okay, there's the Creepers. Yeah, so that Creeper's really good. It's like, usually the Creeper's not that exciting late game, but when you have the Roar in hand and it gets a Handlock, it's really exciting. They can't AoE down your board.
It feels tempting to try and seal a win, right, with Loatheb?
Yeah. I guess he can like Mountain Giant. Okay. Yeah, I would go for the Loath. Okay, yeah, he's going for it. Okay.
Wow. That is really aggressive.
Yeah, so now Reynard cannot use Hellfire. That's good. He's dead if a swipe gets top decked.
Well, Druid the Claw as well.
Yeah.
Oh, so the logic is he needs specifically a way to clear the board and to taunt up, or else he kills him next turn as well.
So, but he doesn't have the Sun Fury. He needs like the AoE and the Sun Fury. He doesn't have it. What else can he do?
He can heal up and clear, perhaps?
Yeah, he could still tap into a taunt, maybe.
Tap into a taunt at 1 HP. That is ridiculous.
That's rough. But yeah, Pinping's Druid should be favored against Handlock.
Well, I'm still thinking of any ways for Reynard to pull himself out of this. Can he Mortal Coil anything that could save him? Sludge Belcher? I don't want to. I would think so, but probably not. He just doesn't have any way to taunt.
Mortal Coil into. Yeah, Mortal Coil into Mortal Coil would be nice. Nice start.
Into Defender of Argus.
Okay, is that?
Well, you just put up a big wall of taunts now. You have free Molten Giant. And you just hit the face.
Yeah, 18 damage worth of taunts.
Yeah.
Wow.
Wow.
Okay, so he has recovery potential with the Shadow Flame.
So
he still needs more taunts, though, I think.
Druid needs to swipe out of this then.
Or another Savage Roar. So
Inner
1 damage or 3 damage, I think.
draw into the swipe. 1 time.
Yeah. Because you don't need the swipe this turn even. You could get it 2 turns.
Oh!
There it is. Let's look at Reynard's face.
Oh, that is pretty
He's not
devastating.
surprised at all. He saw it came off right off the top, but he knew that would happen.
I mean, if he didn't get that, he was actually looking at some pretty big trouble, right? Because
I think he had 2 turns though. I think he
sure?
had 1 more turn to draw the swipe.
Because it looked like Handlock had a lot of damage on the back.
Oh, he had the
swing.
Earthens though, so he could have Earthened out of
Yeah.
swipe range. Okay.
And then he also had Siphon Soul. So if he played like a
Okay.
taunt, he would have Siphon Soul. Or, I don't know. It looked pretty tight. And I think if Ping didn't draw that swipe there, I think the game would have swung the other way.
Yeah. Roar would have been pretty good too though. He had
True,
like 4
true,
minions on
true,
board.
true. Well, that's going to even up the series. And I think that was a really crucial win for Ping because now we have Handlock versus Warrior. And if he's favored in that, then he comes up with 2-1 lead going into the blind picks, and that can be bad news if Reynard has a bad matchup there.
Yeah, I'd give it 60% to the Handlock.
Okay.
But again, Reynard might be able to juke him with the double brawl, but I mean it's still hard to draw 2 brawls early.
Sure.
But we'll see.
Sure. Yeah, I definitely agree there. So going into Warrior versus the Handlock here, if Reynard wins, even if he wins though, I think the series in the blind pick is a little bit trickier because there is that Shaman that can throw a mix into things, right?
I think Ping just goes with his Druid because it's good against Handlock, it's good against Warrior, and
okay.
Yeah, it is weak against Hunter though. So I think Reynard's forced to pick Hunter, which means Ping is forced to pick what's his other deck? He has not Druid. Oh, so Ping will pick Warrior. I mean,
he has
okay.
Druid, Handlock, and Shaman.
So I think when it gets to the free picks, Reynard will pick what'd I say?
Hunter
every time, and Ping will pick Shaman every time, and we'll see that matchup.
Okay. In the meantime, there are ways for the Warrior to defeat the Handlock. You just have to line up removal.
The Gore Howl is really nice. You can kind of play it the old school. There's 2 ways to play it. Reynard has the Owl, so you can kind of like equip the Gore Howl and then like sneak through with the Grom pretty easily for doing like 10 to 12 from the Grom plus the Gore Howl swing for however much is left. But it's still really hard with the Belcher. There's so many taunts, you can't just Owl 1 taunt because then you have to get through the Belcher and the Ooze. It's really hard, but doable, especially with the Brawl. So Reynard needs to safely get the Gore Howl on. He has 1 Execute, 1 Shield Slam, which is great. Ping only has 1 Mountain, so the Mountain will die to Execute, and then, yeah, it's looking great for Reynard, actually. The Owl, it isn't quite as good as the Warriors used to run Whirlwind, so they do like Grom, Whirlwind, Execute a taunt, Gore Howl 1 taunt, and then Grom to the face. It's not quite as good, he doesn't have that, but the Owl is almost good enough.
Yeah,
wow, I do not like... Okay. Acolyte versus Warlock is dangerous, but if you're going to do it, this is the turn to do it on their turn 4.
Right. You drain out their entire turn as opposed to playing a big threat.
They can't really Owl at this turn. They can, but it tells you, they lose their 4-drop.
Wow. That is interesting. I mean, Hellfire doesn't really get a lot of value anyways, but to use it on an Acolyte...
Yeah, Reynard had no way of getting multiple draws anyway, so he's perfectly fine with that. Now, okay, Coin is really valuable when we go for those Grom sneak-throughs, like we said, because you don't have the Whirlwind to save the mana, so he can really use that extra mana on one of his 1-mana removals to sneak through.
Gotcha. So we're on a mission here. Gore Howl and Grom.
Oh, like I said, the Gore Howl is also a very high-value card, and with the 2 Brawls, he could potentially deck the Warlock.
That's true.
He could just kill everything.
If he doesn't have Jiraxis, right? If he's running.
Yeah. Well, Jiraxis, if you set up the Gore Howl, sometimes they just can't play Jiraxis, or else you just Grom him in the face.
All right. Well, Ping, what does he get here? He still has the opportunity to play his Giant. I think he's playing around the possibility of Big Game Hunter. But it seems like for now you just have to make your opponent have it, right?
Yeah, it seems fine. Maybe he wants... Okay, he's just gonna go for it. It seems fine.
No, Fortunately for Reynard, he has a great response to it. He can gain up to 6 armor, so that way he can maybe handle another giant via Shield Slam.
But I just gonna. This is as good as Armor Smith gets. It's just throwing it in for 2, getting 2 armor, execute activation. I would like to see him save the coin, but let's see. Pinpingho is going into his turn 6. Hamlocks don't really play 6-drops anymore. I've seen Strife Crow playing Hogger, which I like. And then we saw some people play. I think he did have Sylvanas, but Sylvanas isn't that good right here. Okay, so he really wants the extra armor. He values the Armor Smith more than the first half of the Belcher.
I think it makes sense given that he already has Shield Slam in hand.
Yeah, maybe he wants to use the Shield Slam now and save the execute for later.
Right.
Because Shield Slam gets harder to use later in the game, especially when you're not holding a shield block.
So many possibilities.
Ping Ping.
This play was a little weak to Faceless, though.
Oh, you're right. If he had the Face Manipulator on another giant. I was going to say Ping Ping has...
Although maybe... Oh, go ahead. I was thinking maybe Reynard's setting it for Brawl, but he doesn't have it yet. But oh, he could actually, if he wanted, maybe that was a setup for Coin Gorehowl, which he can still do. He can still Coin Gorehowl, throw one of those in.
I think this is what Reynard wanted, though. Because now he has an opportunity to really shut down. And he has one of those brawls. But I don't know if it's time yet. Do you think? Because it still feels
I think
like
you wait till those Ancient Watchers get activated.
Right.
And get 2 guys. Right now he's only getting 1 guy. He has the removal, but maybe he brawls first and then uses the spot removal. Let's see. His 1-mana spells, they don't let him develop anything here. He would just play like the Armor Smith and the Acolyte. So I think it's either Coin Gorehowl or Brawl. Reynard's, he's like, I'm Reynard. The Brawl's gonna make them out.
Nah, he won in the previous turn. And
okay, look at this. This is a setup for a super greedy Brawl. Slight risk if Pinpingho has Lotheb.
Well, he's got
okay, he's
got removal, right? With Shield Slam. Or you can do Execute. Okay.
Yeah.
And then use the Fiery War Axe.
I thought he was setting up for the Gorehowl last turn. This is interesting.
Alright.
So now, since he has the Brawl, he's setting up for the Brawl, I think. Or no, he's just gonna clear. He's gonna take it slow. How does he... He wants to drop that Acolyte, too. He needs something for that.
Well, I guess he was just considering if there was any use of Shield Slam before it, but
Did he get it?
Oh no!
He might.
He missed. He took too
he has
long.
2 mana left.
He got roped. Uh-oh. Reynard waited a little bit too long, and as he coined out, he didn't get armor up.
Yeah, he must have been doing some math on the armor. He's like, okay, this will be the perfect amount of armor, and then to it.
Yeah.
All right, so.
Oh man, that's pretty awkward.
Sucks.
Uh-oh. Well, you know, Ping Ping probably is a little confused by that, but when you see the person rope out of time, you pretty much assume that they want to do something else.
Yeah. I really want to see this Gorehowl get value. I want to see the Gorehowl go on before the Brawl. That's like the dream. He is super low on cards, though, still.
Many possibilities.
Job's done.
Because this Fireworks is kind of worthless.
It doesn't really kill off much. The Farseers and the Owls, but other than that.
And those two Armor Smiths, very low quality cards.
You know what it is, though? It is damage.
Yeah.
So
oh, is he going to sneak in for lethal here? Set up for it? No, he's got too many. Pinpingho has too many taunts.
So on Reynard's screen, it looks like his armor up was used. But because he hit rope...
I've seen this before. It
the
takes a
game
while, but
bugs.
he will be able to use it in a second.
Yeah.
This happened in the BlizzCon finals. I was playing against... I forgot his name, but he tapped at the end of turn, and he didn't get the card, and then he was like trying to tap the beginning turn. It took a while, but it eventually worked.
Oh,
okay, so
man.
Reynard's baiting the Brawl here. He wants the Molten Giants to come down. Yeah, it'll work. Alright, so he wants to see some Moltens. We'll see if Ping's probably not going to drop both, because anytime you see it, you can drop both, you're like, oh, I'm going to get Brawled. So he's probably going to drop one. He'd love to Loatheb if he had it. He doesn't.
So if he drops Molten Giant here, then you just you taunt up the other two, right? Because you don't want to taunt up Molten Giant, and then you just try to see where you can go from there.
Yeah, so he might.
Do you life tap then?
I'm trying to decide if he wants to kill an Armor Smith. I think so. Reynard's at so high HP, and he has low card quality that I think Pinpingho is going to try to outcard him. So I think he just kills. He doesn't care about his health. He just kills the Armor Smith. Or I mean the Acolyte. Wow. So I mean he does have Shield Slam, but
All right, so he's playing very respectful for what his opponent has.
yeah. So I think Reynard first draws off the Acolyte before he brawls.
Yeah. See what you get. And also pick up a little armor.
Yeah.
Decreases his chance to win the brawl, but who knows? Maybe he ends up working out all okay in the end. Still a little scary though.
Okay, so if the Twilight Drake wins the brawl, he can Owl, Fiery it. If the Molten Giant wins the brawl, he can't quite Shield Slam it. So he's maybe thinking about if he wants to get some more armor to be able to do that.
Right. The
He's just
armor
gonna
up
say,
doesn't even work that much.
yeah, he's just like the Molten Giant better not win.
2 times to see if Kit Kat's
Okay,
lied.
good. Kit Kat's truthed.
All right. Well.
Can he set up for Grom? Okay, so he can
Yes, he
Shield Slam
can.
his own Grom. He can Owl past a taunt.
Yeah, I think
Okay.
you attack here because he already is at Molten Giant range anyways. Well, Ping needs to swing this around here.
Okay, so
So he's got ways to be defensive and heal, right? But does that
Yes.
save him?
you
'Cause-
can, yeah.
So many
Probably wants to get the Molten down no matter what. And then he has the choice of Argusing something or Belchering.
If you play Belcher, you get the opportunity to heal yourself with
Yeah.
Farseer as well.
Belcher plus Argus feels really awkward, but it might be the right play here. It's like the Belcher already has 2 taunts. Why give another? But I think it might be the right play. But it's better than the other play. Okay, but he chose to heal like he said.
But does that mean he can still sneak in here with Owl and Core? Oh, he doesn't have enough.
No.
Doesn't have enough mana to do everything here.
Yeah. I was gonna say if he had the coin, but he still doesn't quite have enough mana. So I think Shield Slam. Oh, he wants to develop the Gorehowl at some point. Wait, can he develop the Gorehowl this turn? And no, he couldn't.
Well, that fills out the curve if he Shield Slams the Giant and plays Sludge Belcher.
Yeah, you could just Owl the Sludge Belcher this turn. You're gonna Owl it anyways. It's like the best Owl target outside of Sylvanas. Or he could just, yeah, Sludge Belcher is fine, I guess. Maybe he wants to find that second brawl and just win the game. 14 cards. He's like, nah, I'm not gonna find it.
He'd be digging for a while.
I think he's got. I think he wants to just start the Gorehowl, get the Gorehowl cranking.
Well, he can't now. He doesn't have enough mana.
Every turn he waits to develop the Gorehowl, it's gonna be more punishing. Ping's board is gonna be even bigger. So the sooner the better. But Belcher is really good too. He's deciding if he wanted to swing. He's like, no.
Okay, well, in the meantime, there's another way to pose a problem so that Gromosh can't sneak through.
He might not even need Grommash. If you look at Reynard's hand for what's on the board, Owl, Gorehowl, is it lethal? We're gonna see taunts come up, unfortunately.
Yeah, he's got more Sludge Belchers.
So it looks like he's gonna have to chew through at least one Belcher naturally, and then just Owl the other one. Or he can draw the brawl. Reynard might have 2 Owls. I've seen 2 Owls a lot on ladder.
possibilities.
So then what does Ping do here? He can, once again, play defensive. I don't think there's a way for him to start putting threats out, though, without worried about dying, right?
Yeah, he already tapped, so he's looking for better answers. He didn't get... I mean, Belcher's great, but he could have also just faceless. I wonder if it was. I wonder if he considered facelessing the Belcher and just saving the Belcher, because that might be the best faceless target right now for him. Although,
Well, he also has the opportunity for Defender plus Faceless to all set up more taunts.
okay.
But it is an interesting point that you bring up, because that Faceless will eventually just need to be a taunter anyways.
Yeah. Oh yeah, there's always the potential for the Molten Argus faceless though. Yeah. Okay, Reynard's got lots of removal. But like I said, he has to chew through one Belcher naturally. I would take, it's hard to get the Gorehowl on. So I think he's gonna shield block. Maybe just use the Fiery on that one, and then just put the Gorehowl on.
Yeah, it makes sense given the state of things.
Oh, and then yeah, he can clear the ooze too. That's really good.
Yeah, use a one-attack
Yeah.
creatures to push through, and he's also gaining some armor, which is good to set up a shield slam in the future. It does make him a little more vulnerable to like Hellfire, because all of a sudden it can reach everything. But I think it's okay. Your opponent's doing damage to himself. You're still in threatening range of killing your opponent. That's also
That's always reasonable.
a great card to start threatening the board.
Have we seen any owls from Pinping? I don't think so.
Even so, isn't it the 5/5 body
Yeah,
that's
yeah.
great? It's important.
Against this board too.
Yeah. Well, I don't really see much better play. I mean,
Yeah.
Gorehowl was great too.
It was just mana
do
efficient,
things,
but he wasn't going to swing any. The Fire is just as good this turn, so he can wait. And I think he's fine playing the long game. I don't think there's any rush on Reynard's side. He wants to drag it out to that second brawl that will win the game for him. And he can still, like I said, he can still Owl Gorehowl in one turn, which might be enough. He can Shield Slam his Sylvanas, Owl Gore, and then whatever taunt doesn't get stolen, he Owls it, and then he Gorehowl's face. Might work. Although he's kind of one damage short, depends if he taunts or not, or taps or not.
Is there room for cool shenanigans with Faceless Manipulator here?
Oh, okay. So he faces the Sylvanas, and then he Shadow Flames it. Or no, he doesn't. He doesn't have to Shadow Flame. He just Shadow Flame. Or
Right, and he steals whatever the Sylvanas
Yeah, yeah.
steals, essentially. Oh no, there's a chance that he can take like say the Sylvanas takes. Oh no, he should be able to
Yeah, yeah.
take it back, right? So whatever's stolen gets stolen, take it back.
wait, so is that a good play? It's as good as Faceless gets. Okay, it's reasonable. But like I said, Reynard's totally fine playing the long game.
So he's gonna take his Watcher and just gives it back.
Yeah. Oh, Reynard has lethal with the. Oh no!
No,
if
yeah.
he had the coin.
Yeah, if he had the coin. Well, actually, he would shield slam his Grommash
Yeah.
back to Timbuktu.
Too much HP.
Oh well, he's got a Deathbite now.
Okay, so he can set it up with Deathbite.
But then there's Defender of Argus. And he needs ways to get past these creatures.
I'm fine with
So,
just Gorehowling that this
Gorehowling?
turn. But it's still going to take 2 swings, which is really annoying.
Man, he is so close to killing his opponent.
Okay, yeah, I think you Gorehowl and just kill a creature.
Yeah, it makes sense to me.
So he only has 1 Argus target right now. He needs a second creature. Is he going to siphon that owl?
Siphon the Owl brings up to 12, but it doesn't. Does that save him?
Mortal Coil's nice.
Oh!
Okay, so 2.
Well,
Oh, wait.
That makes things interesting.
Um,
Well, the 2 targets, I think, prevent him from... Right? Because he still has to use a Gorehowl to attack a creature.
I think Reynard's actually going to deck.
Oh.
I don't think Pinping can kill Reynard. How many cards does he have left? Let's see,
It's always deceiving. I've been in this position
Oh, mouse
multiple
over.
times.
oh.
There's
Reyn-
still like Alex Straza and whatever 6-drop he has. So like for Reynard, right? So usually he
Oh,
has maybe
yeah.
a Cairn or something.
Reynard's almost there. And... Oh, does he have it?
No, he's 1 mana short again.
1 damage short, 1 mana short.
Yeah. This is titillating, honestly,
Yeah.
to be in like Reynard's position. But now there's no more real threats here presented, just reactions from the handlock. Oh, and he gets Jiraxis,
I don't
but if
think
he
it's enough.
does,
He's out
he's
of
gonna
taunts.
die.
Yeah, it's not enough.
Oh, so he gets back up to 15 HP, but Reynard has the cool Taskmaster and the Gromage, and that's going to do it for Game 3. Reynard's going to win Warrior versus Handlock, a matchup that was a little bit tougher.
Yeah, and he only had 7 cards left, so Reynard, like we were thinking about sneaking through with the Grom and the Owl, but he was actually going to deck the Warlock as well. Mostly because the Warlock didn't have, maybe the Warlock really needs good post-Draxus cards, like we said earlier, to win this versus Warrior. Outside of a good early game lead, of course.
All right, well, we go into Game 4 with Reynard up, and one game away from challenging Chalky in the Grand Finals. Meanwhile, Ping will have to go back to the drawing board and see whether or not he can win. Now this is the start of the blind pick phase, and you're saying
Yeah, we really think that
Hunter from Reynard,
Hunter from Reynard, Shaman from Ping.
Shaman from Ping.
That's what
Because
makes
that's the
most
most neutral, right?
Yeah.
against
No,
everything
because
else.
Reynard, his Handlock is weak against Shaman, and his Warrior isn't good against Shaman either, but
Or-
his Hunter is
or
good against
Druid.
Shaman. Yeah.
Right.
So I'm pretty sure Reynard's going to go Hunter. Ping's going to go Shaman, and Reynard has a slight edge in that matchup, I think.
I feel like Reynard might just queue up Handlock, though. He's one of those guys who just feels like Handlock's good against anything.
Yeah.
And he's also a guy that, like, he thinks like Handlock is decent against some of its bad matchups. Like against Hunter, he's like, oh yeah, it's not that bad. Or against Shaman, he's like, yeah, it's not that bad.
But if you look at it from Ping's side, his Druid is bad against Reynard's everything but the Warrior. His Warlock, he just lost the Mirror, and he just lost against Warrior, which we think is Reynard's worst, but maybe in Ping's mind he's like, oh, that Warrior's good against my Handlock. And then there's Hunter, so he can't pick Druid or Handlock. He just has to pick Shaman.
Well, his worst matchup would be against the Hunter. So
Yeah.
if that's the case, then there is a little bit of strategy of how you go about this. But it seems like Reynard's going to go with the Handlock.
I don't know. I think Ping has no choice but to go Shaman, and then Reynard Hunter is a totally fine pick. It's great against all of Ping's decks. It's great against Warlock, it's great against Druid, and it's good enough against Shaman. I think it's great against Shaman personally.
You think?
Actually Reynard has the Freezing Trap, and Freezing Trap is at its weakest against Shaman because they just Argus a totem, throw the
Right.
totem in, or just throw the Argus in the next turn. So its Freezing is at its weakest against Shaman. I don't remember if he has Knife Juggler, but Knife Juggler is kind of weak against Shaman too.
He has Sludge Belcher,
Does
which
he?
is good against Shaman.
Did we see the Sludge Belcher on the Hunter?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Sludge Belcher's great.
Yeah.
I heard Gul'dan.
So I think it's Handlock versus Shaman. And, oh yeah, that's right. It's the
Okay.
Yeti. It's the reappearance of the Yeti.
Yeti's pretty good against Handlock. The 5 HP is troublesome, but he tosses it away. Shade has to be good against. Well, actually,
Wow.
Shade is good in Druid when you can accelerate it out, but maybe it's too slow in Shaman. Maybe it's just going to die to AoE for free.
Well, there's 2 chances for Reynard to deal with it if he gets Hellfire, which is another important card. In the meantime, he still has a turn 4 play, and until Shaman draws a Hex, he still has to deal with it.
Oh,
Okay, so he-
man. Oh, okay.
Okay. That makes sense. Because if you coin out Shade
Yeah.
into Shade, it still can die to Hellfire.
Okay, so is he going to Soulfire it? It's going to really slow down his Mountain Giant.
Well, you tap first, right? Because you want to...
Yeah, but I mean, you lose the Soulfire plus another card, so that's like really slowing down your Mountain Giant. Decent card against Shaman.
Yeah. BGH is not that practical speaking. So I think he would have been okay parting ways with that.
Yeah, there's probably going to be PGH to the Shade at some point. I bet the Shade's going to come out with Loatheb and it's going to get BGH'd. Or, no, okay, he'll just Shadow Flame his BGH at some point.
2 Shades. And there's a Doomhammer and a Rockbiter waiting.
I don't think Reynard's that scared, though.
Okay.
If it was a Druid, you'd be super scared, but...
Right. So
Okay, so we got the Big Game Hunter Shadow Flame. No, one more turn for that.
So he doesn't have Loatheb to shut it down. He's got Doomhammer.
Oh, is he just going to put it on? He's got the Lightning Bolt and the Rock Biter in hand. Lots of burst. Reynard has Lothab and a lot of taunts, though.
I wonder.
If you play Doomhammer, are you just going all in, or are you hitting with Doomhammer, holding onto your shades?
Well, I think if he plays Azure Drake, then Reynard will take the Shadow Flame. This plays around the Shadow Flame the best, I think. I think you go ahead and swing twice and keep the shades stealthed.
Okay. Well, it's either that or put him down to 11 and go all in, and that's not a lot of insurance. If your opponent has a taunt, then the Doomhammer Rock Biter combination won't go off.
This game's going to be good. They both have great hand. Well, Reynard's hand is great, and Pinpingho's is very bursty, so I'm really interested to see how this goes. Pinpingho would really like some Earth Shock so he can push past the taunts that are likely to come down. Oh, all the way in. Okay, wow.
Halfway.
Oh, halfway, okay.
Halfway in. Just a tip. Oh, well, he picks up another alternative target to Shadow Flame. And that's important, actually. So that way you
Okay.
can deal with this second shade.
Oh, don't tap. He has
Can't-
lethal if he taps.
You can't tap.
Okay, good. He's 13 if he gets one more card, actually.
Another Lightning Bolt?
Pretty easy
Another
to-
Rock Biter?
No, okay.
Oh.
Hex is great.
That's probably the next best thing.
Okay.
Because now you can still put pressure in. You don't play a Zombie Chow, though, right?
Yeah, now every single turn Ping is threatening lethal from now on. But like I said, Reynard has great tools. He needs 2 taunts, though. He has to be afraid of, like, Earth-Shocking past
Ooh.
1.
That was another good draw, too, because now he can taunt 2 creatures up.
Is he playing around?
Oh?
It is turn 6.
Yeah, he is playing around Black Knight if he does this.
He's so low, I think.
But
Well,
then Earth Shock still is an
yeah,
opportunity
I would
for
be
defense.
so afraid of Earthshock. But actually, maybe the last few turns he... No, there's no way to know if he had the Earthshock or not at this point.
Yeah, there's no way to draw into Earth Shock in the game here.
Interesting that Oh my gosh.
Wow. Okay, so Reynard needs as many taunts as possible because Pinpingho
Yeah.
has a lot of damage.
Is the dead zombie chows, which is interesting. But the rest, oh my gosh. 3. Wow. Okay, Lothab or Taunt, both great.
Lothab makes a lot of sense because you deny him from being able to play spells.
Yeah, and you keep your Molten Giant pretty safe.
Can he kill you if you play Lothab, if he has Rock Biter? No, right? Because he has Flame Tongue and Rock Biter.
Yeah, so yeah.
Oh, actually, he can kill you. Oh my god.
So he has to trade into the...
He has to kill off like the 0-2.
Okay.
You can't just go all face.
Doesn't really have a good way to play Argus, so he's probably not going to.
It's a very specific set of instructions. To like Lothab, kill off totem, attack, and not tap.
I think, though, in your head, when you play Lothab, you're like, all right, 6 mana, he
Yeah.
has 2 left. So you're thinking, okay. I was going to say he's going to be tempted to tap for mana efficiency. Now, will he
No, I think
kill the
this is-
Drake?
I think this costs him, right?
Okay, let's see. Does...
No, all you do is you play Rock Biter and Flame Tongue.
No, that's not enough. That's only 10. Yeah, so Reynard's still safe. Let's see. What can Ping do now? Nothing? Or he has to Rock Biter.
No, Rock Biter's his own self, attacks the Ancient Watcher, and
Yeah.
then slides the Flame Tongue next to the Azure Drake.
No, that's only 10, because Rock Biter does 10.
Well, it does 5 each. You split it up.
Oh, I see. Okay, the extra damage. Okay. Yeah.
Oh gosh, I like the whole point was to
Ugh.
not tap after that entire sequence, and that ends up costing Reynard the game. And now the series is tied up, and that small little decision has costed him from being able to close out the series. And we have ourselves going to Game 5
No.
once again. it's like you said, when you play Lothab, you don't expect your opponent. It's like, well, okay, I'm safe against Earthshock, Rock Biter,
Yeah.
or that, but you don't think about Flame Tongue. Which is why I was like, well, it's a very specific set of, he needs to do this to survive. Like, he needs to kill off the totem and not tap,
Yeah.
which is the key to that turn. But, of course, when you have that, you're like, I have the opportunity to. So
I still would really like to see Reynard just pick Hunter here. Although maybe he is scared of that double zombie chow.
I would bet you a lot of money to say he's going to play handlock again, because when you
After
lose,
you lose
when
like
you
that,
lose like
yeah.
that, you're like, okay, I got this.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think so. And looks like he is going to go handlock once again.
Okay, all right.
And Pinpingho going to go for Shaman once more, which makes a lot of sense given your explanation earlier.
Yeah, and yeah, he's not gonna. Is he even playing 2 Doomhammer?
That would be really interesting. That
Maybe just 1, and then yeah, it's unlikely that he'll get like the 3, like the double rock fighter and the
Right.
like. Even though he didn't even use all that, but still.
I was actually talking to Reynard about this matchup the other day, and we were talking about the importance of Doomhammer because of the impending threat of always killing your opponent. So
Yeah.
I mean, now he's definitely in tune of what's going on now. Game 5, this is what he wants. He's played handlock a total of 6 times today. Hopefully he can pull it out if you're a fan of him, or if you're a fan of Taiwanese player all the way from Wei Spider. It's Pinpingho, and he is going to have a pretty decent hand, right? Flame Tongue Totem with Haunted Creeper is
I was gonna say
strong.
Reynard's hand looks great.
Oh, I didn't look at Reynard's hand either,
Yeah.
but he's got Hellfire and 2 4-drops.
Yeah, Reynard's hand is amazing. Ping's is.
Yeah, I think it's all right.
We'll see if Reynard plays the Drake first. Usually they play the Mountain Giant first, because in case they don't have their shock. But it would be nice to get the Hex on the Twilight Drake.
I generally like playing the Giant first, because if they have Hex, then it takes up all their turn, versus Earthshock allows them to play something else.
He played that Sun Fury though, so he's not gonna play the Mountain first. And sometimes they don't even play the Drake when they just save it for later. But he's got 2, so it looks like he's just gonna back to back.
Ah, well,
But now
tied right on time.
the Mantine gave him a lot of trouble last game.
Yeah, that Soulfire ended up being 1 turn too slow.
Now when you play this, you're like, it's so likely that the Shaman has a 3 damage, 1 mana removal, and he does. He has the Bolt.
Right, but I mean, you're just gonna be playing along that as well, because you know you're gonna be playing Drakes.
He has the Feral Spirits. It's kind of tempting to do the 1 mana and the Feral Spirits, but it's really weak to Hellfire. I'd Totem as expected.
Good restraint.
Just protect the Mana Tide.
And even got the Taunt Totem, which
Yeah.
is annoying enough, so even if you played a creature, has to need a little bit more.
Oh, I think we're still going to see the Hellfire.
Yeah, for sure. So a little pairing back and forth. And honestly, with 2 Hexes and an Earthshock, it seems like Pinpingho is pretty well equipped to handle a lot of pressure here.
Yeah, he's going to have a weak next turn, though. Flame Tongue. Not good. Ugh.
Yeah, Zombie Chow is one of the weaker cards you can ever draw against Handlock.
Getting some damaging. He needs to get him low at some point. He just like doesn't cast these zombie chows against Handlock.
No, I mean, they
like
work in
to-
the opposite
yeah.
direction. Absolutely not what you need. Well, the game is moving at lightning speed here, assuming your opponent's just going to fire elemental and try to snipe.
You know?
And what Shaman wants to do from this point on is draw as fast as you can to some way to finish off your opponent.
Yeah, he has the 1 Earthshock, but no Doomhammer, no Rockbiter. But maybe he can build a board and protect it with that Loatheb 1 turn. Might be enough. Especially with the Flame Tongue.
Okay. Yeah, the Hex allows him to
Okay, I like that.
push. Yep. It's also more mana efficient. Well, you committed this far. I mean,
Yeah.
might as well just go for it.
Probably just Sledge Belcher tap.
Yeah, I like playing Sludge Belcher against Shaman just because you can bait out the Earth Shocks or Hexes, and then your Drakes has become much stronger.
Yeah.
They're such a problematic
Although
card.
he can... That's pretty clean.
Oh, wow,
Oh,
what
that's
a
really
draw. That is great. So he can shoot down this Sludge Belcher for 5 damage. Once again, Zombie Chow not going to really do much, so a couple of dead draws, but in between it, he's got 2 important cards, Lotheb and the Lightning Bolt. It could be the case where he's built up such a strong board that it might not matter.
Yeah, right now he already used one Hellfire. So he needs the Shadow Flame.
Well,
Doesn't have Taunt Giver. There's a Taunt Giver, but we see 1 Hex and 1 Earthshock. So both taunts are going to be removed.
he tempted to play Black Knight here. There's not often many targets in Shaman other than one of the Feral Spirits that he got rid of and Alec here.
Yeah, his other players just get a Drake. Oh, maybe he wants to get the Ancient Watcher down.
Drake and Ancient Watch. Well, this actually doesn't remove any power on the board. There's 8 here. Still a little bit away from being able to kill his opponent.
Seems like a good Lotheb turn.
Yeah. If you Lotheb, how are you following it up though? Like, do you try to remove the Black Knight at all, or do you just leave him to his own devices?
You just go face and take him to 11, and then Reynard can only make 2 taunts. Okay, maybe he doesn't have enough damage.
Well, you still can play the efficient way of Fire Elemental.
Yeah, it's a good
trade
Fire
in.
Elemental turn.
I mean, you can even hold back some damage too.
Yeah.
Put him at 17.
Yeah, that's probably the play.
Yeah.
And he probably wants a taunt totem, so he can totem first.
Yeah. You think Haunted Creeper doesn't really matter here?
No, actually it does. It'll save him from AoE. Although it's only 2 damage, it's not like Shaman Savage Roar or anything.
Yeah, well, the more I look at the Fire Elemental play, the more I like it. It's all about whether or not he wants to play Haunted Creeper or Totem.
Well, he's thinking about it.
I think it's worth thinking about. So, back over to Reynard land, he needs a Shadow Flame or something to take apart this board.
Right, there's the Shadow Flame.
Well, it's actually still a little awkward because of the Fire Elemental health.
Yeah. He could tap to find Big Game Hunter. No, he couldn't afford. Yeah, that wouldn't be enough damage. Okay.
Oh, I see what you're saying. It's a little creative.
Okay, Mortal Coil. Is that enough? It is.
Yeah, so now you can kill off the Fire Elemental.
Belcher's great. So yeah, so there's the Hex and the Earthshock, so he needs more than 2 taunts. So now he has potentially 3 taunts.
Yeah, and he's now finally got some ways to stack the board with cheaper minions because he's at 15 health.
Does he feel like he needs to play the Zombie Chows? Because with Lotheb's the best time to do it. Nice. This is
Yeah.
fine.
Well, normally
he's
he can
doing it.
attack Zombie Chows. And he's got Earthshock too, so he is all in. And Reynard needs to be as defensive as possible.
Yeah. He needs to Deathwing back up to 23.
Deathwing back up to 23. It just gets hexed.
Alright, so he's got... Okay, so...
Can
yeah.
he life tap Double Giant and Sludge Belcher as well?
Let's see.
It's him at 8. That's going to cost 6. No, he's going to be 1 mana short.
If we double Arguses, then he absorbs 1 hit, 3, 4. He takes 13, exactly 13.
So this is it?
Yeah, this is it.
Oh, man. Pinpingho has exact damage. 2 games in a row to shut down the handlock.
So that Spider over Totem really paying off here, the extra damage.
That was the difference maker here. He just has to count up one more time, but he should have it. And those Zombie Chows end up being the necessary way to push through. And that's going to do it. And Pinpingho is going to go to the finals of the first week of ESL Legendary Series. What do you think about that?
I love his... So it's got Yetis,
It's got
Shades, double Zombie Chow, which isn't too crazy, but kind of in combination with those extra cards it is, I think.
Well, there you go. And Pinpingho comes all the way from the qualifier to barely eke out a win over Reynard here, and goes off to face Chalky. And now this guarantees that Pinpingho is invited for next week as well.
Okay. So we'll see whose Shaman deck is better, Pinpingho's or Chalky's.
Mm-hmm.
And then Chalky's
There's
Hunter.
Druid,
Yeah.
and then there's
Okay.
they both have Warlock, but it's Handlock versus Zoo. So that's going to be an interesting final setup, and that will be our last series of the day. But then that also means that Reynard and RDU will probably be playing for third place spot, so that way they can determine who gets the points.
Okay, fun stuff.
Right. Well, in the end, 8 people arrived today. I didn't expect Pinpingho to do this well, but I also if he came all the way through the qualifier, he must be pretty legit
with
of
a
a
name
player.
like that.
Absolutely, I agree. And he's going to be facing off against Chalky, who's also looked pretty sharp too, coming from the invites.
Yeah, I really like Chalky's deck. All his little tweaks paid off in every single game. I love when a player takes a deck that's like thought to be streamlined already, makes some changes for a specific tournament, for a specific format, and every single change he made paid off. The Shattered Sun, the Shaman, all the Shaman changes, it was great.
Yeah, definitely. That series was brought to you by Crucial and Digital Western. Shout out to them. If you want anything for storage and memory needs, make sure to check out newegg.com, one of our proud sponsors here for the Legendary Series. We're going to take a break. When we come back, Hyped and I will bring to you the last series of the day. It's Chalky versus Pinpingho. Stay tuned, guys. We'll be right back.